Workers started restoring the city's San Pedro church 300 years ago. However, the work doesn't merely restore the building's exterior to its previous magnificence. You will be surprised to know that when the workers at the old building dig into the soil, what they found? They strike what appears to be two separate sets of skeletal bones. Yes, you absolutely heard right. And as a result of that finding, a long-debated element of Spanish mythology that is unexplained may now be proven to be true. So if you are excited to know more, then watch the video till the end. Well, for sure, the discovery of mummified human remains may provide answers to issues that have bothered the Spanish people for a long time. Visitors are still drawn to the historic town that served as the setting for a story that is not only lovely but also adventurous and terrible. But the event in issue began at the beginning of the 1200s, at a time when Teruel's Segura and Marcilla dynasties were simultaneously at the highest position of the socioeconomic ladder. Theoretically speaking, it wasn't absolutely an adverse outcome if these families were married, as the Marcillas and Segura's power, as well as influence, might almost certainly grow as a consequence. However, there was something wrong when an adult male and a lady from every single community fell in love. Unfortunately, one of them was not any more particularly wealthy. Despite the opposition, their forbidden relationship persisted, and it has been reported that they eventually married in front of everyone. Unfortunately, the reconciliation failed to produce a happily ever after conclusion. When two separate collections of skeletons were revealed at the former location of the San Pedro church, concerns emerged regarding the connection as well. But the Marcilla, as well as Segura families, were claimed to have ruled Teruel for hundreds of years before their corpses were found. The city is located in Aragon, a region in Spain that is also the location of Zaragoza. And although Diego, commonly referred to as Juan Martinez, was a member of the Segura family, his childhood companion Isabel was a member of the Marcilla family. According to the historical account, Diego and Isabel were in reality childhood peers. Since both of them belonged to an identical social group, no one was bothered by their common playground love at first. Diego's circumstances had altered, however, after the couple arrived at a stage in life where the wedding was an option. Diego particularly promised the girl's father, who was at that point Teruel's richest man, that he would pay his own way to the marriage. Yes, the young man requested a 5-year period to accumulate his own fortune in order to prove he would be deserving of Isabel's hand in marriage. Unexpectedly, her dad agreed to the proposal, and Diego departed the city to begin collecting the cash he had committed. A gentleman's commitment seemed to be binding. But then what happened? However, Isabel's father anticipated his daughter would eventually find a different partner to tie the knot in place of Diego. The teenage girl told her dad that she intended to not get married till the tender age of 20, but she had no desire of pledging herself as well as her entire existence to another. She ought to have had plenty of time to practice housekeeping while she waited for Diego. Despite the fact that it appeared that Isabel's father was unwilling to allow her to get married to Diego, he truly admired his own child. As a result, he complied with her demand, and both of them patiently awaited the Marcilla boy's reappearance for a period of 5 years. But nobody had heard from Diego throughout that period. However, there was some kind of bustle at Teruel's entrance right after the event was over. The Segura family was then alerted by security that a recognizable person was back. Yes, Diego was indeed the intruder, and he was bringing the wealth he promised to give in exchange for Isabel's hand in marriage. Additionally, it appeared that he genuinely wished to marry his previous love. But the reason why didn't Diego show up earlier? Diego, for one, failed to anticipate having to abandon Isabel. He eventually sneaked into Isabel's chamber late at night after her marriage to Azagra. However, Isabel had recently tied the knot and had no plans of breaking her promise to Azagra. She actually said, in response to Diego's demand, "God would never want me to mislead my partner." However, she pleaded with him to continue living his own life. Tradition has it that Isabel begged Diego to give up thinking about her and find someone for the sake of Christ. God could not be pleased by our love, and neither should I. According to the tale, Diego had absolutely nothing left to settle down for after Isabel's rejection, because he couldn't bear the prospect of being apart from her permanently. It is reported that he passed away in the presence of his loved one. But a cold sensation ran through Isabel's body immediately as she realized Diego had died. Of course, she was sad that she lost a true man like Diego. She then informed her new-lewd partner, Azagra, who had been sleeping, that she had stirred due to his snoring. Isabel said, "I would like Azagra to tell me something." After Azagra fulfilled the request of his newlywed, Isabel made the decision to share a story of her own with him. But did she inform her husband of Diego's entry into her room? As stated in that, Isabel did indeed tell Azagra about Diego's death once he approached their bedroom. She then indicated Diego's dead body adjacent to their bed, seemingly establishing the truth of her account. In response to Azagra's question about why she hadn't simply married the other man to save him, she said, "To not cheat my spouse." Azagra continued by calling Isabel a woman deserving of honor for that choice. He was going to be unable to demonstrate to his wife such adoration for very long. You see, the couple promptly chose to bury Diego at the church closest to them in a private ceremony, because they were afraid Azagra might be held accountable for the passing away of his wife's ex-lover. At Diego's covered funeral, Isabel made the decision to say something of her own choosing. She reappeared there wearing her bridal gown and proceeded to go down the stairs once more. But on this particular day, she went up to her longtime affection's body, which was lying at the main entrance of the church. Residents from Teruel usually dress in period attire for the occasion to create the ideal setting for narrating Isabel and Diego's tale. They also offer some of the most well-known goods from the area, such as pottery and metalwork. The celebration itself, in the meantime, celebrates Spanish marriages that have lasted 25 or 50 years. Therefore, even though the story regarding the lovers of Teruel is only a work of literary fiction, its continuous prominence shows that love narratives may persist throughout time. And this is particularly true of stories that have a terrible finish like Isabel and Diego do. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more interesting content.